Okay, so what's up guys, two really quick announcements before I start this video. Number one, we fucking reached 50 subscribers guys, thank you so much. I'm really happy about that. It also means that I am definitely doing a binder giveaway at the end of this year, so way to go to that guys. That also means that we're now halfway to 100 subscribers, which means I'll be doing a packet giveaway as well as a binder giveaway at the end of the year. I'm going to fill in more details about it, obviously close to the time when I'm doing it, but yeah, keep subscribing guys for your chance to win. Also, something really huge happened to me yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video because my next week's video, I kind of have a live update of me doing it and stuff like that. But basically, your boy is fully out as Ollie to everybody now. I came out on all of my social media. If you follow me on Tumblr, then you'll already know this. But yeah, I came out on all of my social media. I also came out at work. And all I'm going to say is that the response was overwhelmingly positive and I'm fucking stoked. Okay, so what's up guys, my name is Ollie and today I wanted to make a video. I really enjoy seeing these videos, like when I'm watching them on YouTube, especially if I can relate to them, so I'm hoping that some of you guys may be able to relate to my situation with this. But basically what I wanted to talk about was how and when I knew I was trans, because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't one of those people that knew from when I was like 5 years old. I haven't always known, to be honest. I've only really known for about 3 years, and I didn't know before then, and I haven't always like been super boyish all the time. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about it and maybe give you guys some peace of mind if you have a similar coming out and realization to me. So going way back, I mean I was a pretty boyish child, you know. If you've seen my pre-T FTM timeline, that was my first video, you'll see that I was quite boyish. I never liked to wear a shirt. I refused to like go to ballet, and I also never really played with dolls, but I also wasn't extremely masculine either. Like, you know, I wasn't obsessed with sports and stuff like that. Like, I did get on better with guys when I was younger, but like I wasn't like super like, it wasn't really obvious that I was trans from when I was younger. And to be honest, I didn't have any of those pivotal moments where I said to my mom, you know, I'm a boy when I was like 5. That didn't happen for me. It just, I don't know. And all throughout my childhood, I had a pretty happy childhood. I wasn't a miserable child. I didn't hate my body. Gender just didn't matter to me when I was a kid, you know. It doesn't. You know, I was just me. And the fact that I was a girl didn't really affect my life. My mum let me be who I wanted to be. She let me play football. I was friends with both boys and girls, and I got along with everyone really, and it just didn't really matter to me, like whether I was a boy or a girl. Secondary school's a bit of a different story. Up until like year 9 I was really happy at secondary school, you know. Everyone's still kind of immature, it's kind of annoying, but not completely. And like my like best friend Mia, she was very tomboyish as well, and we were on the football team, and I was pretty happy at high school. Didn't really ever wear makeup, always shoved my hair in a pony, but again I wasn't super unhappy, you know. I wasn't like, oh no, there's something wrong here, you know. There's like, I didn't automatically, you know, like people who know from when they're like 10 or 12, I didn't. I'd say the first, like, I did a lot of things that are kind of weird now, so like whenever I had the opportunity to turn myself into a boy in like a game, or if we were playing pretend, I would do it. Like in my year 7, I was Noel Gallagher in the school play. You know, any opportunity I had to play the boy, I would do it. But, you know, that isn't like an absolute screaming. My animals always seem to appear in my videos. But even so, I didn't really think much of it. It wasn't until I hit puberty when I was like, okay, shit, something is weird and off about this. That's off. I had a really rough time going through puberty. I started self-harming. I didn't know what was wrong, I just knew something was wrong. And I wasn't happy, and all of my friends, like all my guy friends, were getting deeper voices and were growing facial hair and finding themselves, and the same with the girls who were kind of growing into themselves and trying to look more girly now, and I just didn't really feel like I fit. And then I became to get sort of bullied at school, and a lot of people were saying that I was a lesbian and a dyke, and I was already having these fears that I was gay because I'd already had a few crushes on girls in the past, and I was just having all these very confusing thoughts going through puberty. And then one day I just remember, like, I used to dress up as a guy and take selfies and, you know, like shove my hair into a hat and like do like stupid guy poses and stuff, and I would go on to like my Club Penguin or like Habbo accounts and just pretend to be a boy and flirt with girls. And I genuinely just thought I was weird. I was like, this is not what a normal girl does. And so I thought, right, I honestly, this is no word of a lie, I had no idea what transgender was, like none. I didn't find out what transgender was until I think I was 16. Like, I don't have any real LGBT friends, and I wasn't really ever that much on the internet, only like surrounding myself with the people I knew, so I didn't know about any famous transgender people. Honestly, the whole world was a mystery to me. And so I said to myself, I was like, right, okay, I can either be miserable for the rest of my life, trying to be something that I can never be, because I thought that I could never be a boy. That's not something that girls can do. I have to be a girl. And so I thought that I could either be miserable my whole life, or I can try and embrace being a girl and try and find happiness within that. So that's what I tried to do. I started wearing a lot more makeup, and I went out more, and I spent a lot more time with my friends, and I stopped playing football, and it worked, you know. People were starting to see me as a pretty girl, and people weren't bullying me and calling me a dyke anymore, and I made more friends, and I was a lot happier, I guess. I didn't hate that time of my life. I think it was more of a fake happiness. For me, I'm a lot stronger as a person now, and I live for myself, not for anybody else. But when I was younger, especially at that very... my life. Especially that very vulnerable time of my life, you know, you want to make others happy, and I think you find happiness in making other people happy, you know. So, like, I enjoyed my popularity, and I mean, if you look at my year 11 prom, I looked really, really pretty, and I was wearing this long blue dress, and I had long curly hair, I had all my makeup and my nails done, and I felt pretty, I felt nice, but it was kind of like looking at somebody else and thinking they look nice, you know. It was like this kind of weird, not really associating with myself. Like, I enjoyed the attention, and I enjoyed people thinking that I looked nice, and I enjoyed the positive feedback from my family and my friends, and I had a good time, but it wasn't really me, you know. And then I moved away from school. I went to sixth form, and I moved away, and it was a completely fresh start. I didn't know anybody, and I thought, okay, this is a chance that I can reinvent myself, and I can live for myself, and I can finally try and find happiness within myself. And so I decided that I wanted to, like, come out as gay, and I had this, like, really massive desire to cut my hair off. And a part of me just thought that maybe I could find a compromise, you know, that maybe just being a dyke, being the more masculine one in a lesbian relationship would make me happy. And so I kept asking my mum if I could cut my hair, and this was before I found out what transgender was. I did know I was transgender before I cut my hair, but at this point, in this point of my life, I didn't. And I was progressively just wearing more boyish clothes, and I would try and cover up my chest, and I was like experiencing dysphoria more than ever before I even knew what dysphoria was, and I really wasn't happy. And then I don't even remember how I came across being transgender. I think I was on Tumblr, because I know Tumblr's very accepting of LGBT, and so I came out as gay on there before I came out to anyone else. And then I think I just saw like a trans guy, and I was like, holy shit, what? And I know it's cliche, but it was literally one of those moments when I was like, oh my god. You know, it opened up this whole other world to me that I didn't even know existed. You know, I thought that I could be miserable, wanting to be something that I could never be, or I could try and be a girl. I didn't realise that there was an option where I could actually be a guy. I could be the guy that I always felt like I was, like deep down inside. And so then I made my Tumblr account as Ollie, and I came out on there, and I was just being a guy on there, and I started shoving my hair up into hats, and like posting like trans guys and FTM hashtags, and I was begging my mom day in and day out to let me get my hair cut, and she finally did. And then I had this whole world opened up to me where I could pass as male if I wanted to. I just ruin serious moments all the time. And I was so fucking happy, but I was also terrified at the same time, because like, holy shit, does this mean I'm transgender? Like, I'm gonna have to come out, I'm gonna have to transition, I'm gonna have to do all these scary things. Not have to, but I want to, you know? And I was like, shit, how the hell am I gonna do this? And so I kind of went through the 5 stages of grief as well. I think I was way deep in denial. I tried to find like a middle ground where I would dress up like a guy and try and pass as male for the most part, but then when I went out like to a club, I would wear makeup and like tight clothes and crop tops, and guys would like flirt with me, and I fucking hated it. Even though people knew I was gay, or like liked girls, like I hated it. And then I started doing lots of self-destructive things, like I started taking drugs every time I went out in order to have a good time, because otherwise I just wouldn't have a good time, because I'd feel so shit about the way that I looked and the way that I was being treated, because people were seeing me as a girl, and that kind of happened. And I just sort of thought one day, like, what the fuck am I doing, you know? I just need to accept myself, and then I'll be happier, and I have been. And you guys kind of know the road from there of my coming out. it's been a long road. It's been a really fucking long road. It's all I've thought about for like 3 years. I've had countless nights staying up and researching about being trans. I've like spent countless nights on Tumblr just looking at other guys' transitions and coming out advice, and then obviously I tried to come out once and it went badly, and then I came out again and I'm out now, and I just it's a whole thing, but I'm a lot fucking happier now. My mom and my family, I guess, are a work in progress. Things aren't great at home, but they could be worse, and my friends and people at work took it better than I could have ever hoped. You guys will see that in the next video. I'm sorry this was long, but I just wanted to kind of explain to you guys that, and I hope that this was like relatable for some of you guys, because I know it can be very invalidating when you hear about people who have known from when they're like 5 years old, and you know, even from like primary school or whatever, and then you start to think like, am I trans enough? Because that's how I felt. So yeah, I hope this video was like relatable and I guess helpful for you guys. So yes guys, I'm gonna go, but get subscribing for your chance to win a packer now and a binder, because definitely doing that one, and I'll see you next week.